Alright, what is up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, Mackenzie Janelle.
Financially stable, make it rain like Mary Poppins, shooting creamy threes like half a pinty like I'm bashing.
I was debating if I wanted to do a video today, but then I decided that I was because I've been watching a lot of TV this past week while getting ready for school, and plus I have a new job, so I've mostly just been working and then coming home and watching TV and movies. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about some TV shows that you've probably never seen before but are so good. So I'm gonna be talking about some underrated TV shows that you need to start watching, like right now, but not like right now, like watch this video and then you go watch it. I have a list of TV shows that I need to watch or I plan to watch, movies I plan to watch, and then I have a list of TV shows that I've watched in their entirety and movies that I've watched and I like or love them. It's a really super long list. These are probably going to be older shows. It's a whole range of shows. I watch all types of things. My favorite genre is horror, but I really watch anything. The first underrated TV show that I think people should watch is called Reign. Not like Rain, but like King and Queen Reign, you know? That show, I believe, only got 4 seasons. It was about Mary Queen. It's a historical drama, but it's like fiction because lots of it didn't really happen, but you know, people had to beef it up to make it interesting. So yeah, it's about Mary Queen of Scots and how she married Francis, the Dauphin, I don't know how to say it, of France. There is a lot of mystery in the show. There's a good bit of comedy, obviously a lot of drama. I would say that it's a PG-13 show. I think there's a couple of rated R things in there, but not enough where the show itself could be classified as rated R. Not everybody's gonna like it, but I loved it. The second show, I don't think is really underrated, but I think that a lot of people probably haven't seen it. It first aired back in 2008. And the last episode was in 2014. True Blood is basically Vampire Diaries, but with adults. I would say True Blood is a raunchier, more rated R Vampire Diaries. I think True Blood came right before Vampire Diaries, but basically it's about this girl named Sookie Stackhouse. It's based off of books, just like the Vampire Diaries is. It aired on HBO, so you already know it was nasty. And it's basically about this waitress named Sookie Stackhouse and how she meets this vampire Bill Compton. He's okay, but there's a lot more. There's a lot better people in the show. It's not underrated. I think a lot of people watched it when it first started coming out. The last seasons aren't amazing, but the first, 3 seasons I think are really good. Season 4 is kind of annoying. No, it's not. No, it is not. Season 5, 6, and 7 are not exactly what I wanted, but it's a good show. It's a really good show. The third show is not over yet, but I've completed it, and I feel like it is an underrated show. At least, I think here it's an underrated show, but I could be wrong. So third show is called Elite. It is a Spanish show. It's European Spanish too. It's amazing. It currently has 3 seasons, but the 4th season is not bringing back a lot of its main cast members, so I don't really know if I want to watch it because they're taking away literally the best characters. But anyways, I can't really say who it's about because every season is different. But the premise of season 1 was that these 3 kids from this poor high school came to this private high school with a lot of rich people, and it's drama and it's mystery and it's love because teenagers always have to focus on everything but actual school. It's not a finished show, but the last 3 seasons are amazing. Next show is called Famous in Love. It was canceled after 1 season. It didn't have high enough ratings, which I was really sad about because I actually really liked the show, even though the main character was Bella Thorne. I might be dyslexic too. Bella Thorne. She was the main character, but she played her role pretty well. It's about some girl, I think, in college who becomes famous, and a bunch of stuff just starts happening because when you get into the Hollywood industry, drama just seems to blossom from all places. I think it was a pretty good show. It was very low-key, which is why I think it got canceled, because not enough people watched it. But that was also based on a book. The next show is Gotham. I personally think Gotham was big for its run. I think it only had 5 seasons in total. I think a lot of people started watching it and they liked it, but I feel like towards the end of the show it kind of just dropped off. Now, I may be wrong in saying it's underrated, but nobody else that I know other than like my mom has watched Gotham. It's about Batman, Bruce Wayne before he became Batman, and it focuses more on Jim Gordon before Bruce Wayne. Jim Gordon is more of the main character than anything. And I think it ended in, I don't know. 2015, 2016, and 2017 are all just kind of a blur. It ended somewhere in that span of those 3 years. I think the best part of the show was not Bruce Wayne, nor was it Jim Gordon. It was Jerome Valeska, aka the Joker, pretty much, even though they couldn't legally call him the Joker. But it was good. It was a very, very good show. Next show is Once Upon a Time. I don't know anybody who's ever watched this show. It's basically just all of the Disney stories. We got all the princesses, mostly the princesses. It focuses on the daughter of Snow White and Prince Charming, I guess, because I think she's the first Disney princess technically. So it focused on their child, and basically it's a lot. Basically, there was a curse from the evil queen, and they had to send their daughter away to the real world while they stayed in the enchanted forest. And yeah, that's pretty much how seasons 1 through 6 go. It's all about her. Her name is Emma Swan. It's about her story and how it is. And then season 7 focuses on her now adult son, Henry. Season 7 was not the best season. The first couple of seasons were the best. I did not like the Elsa season, but that is okay. That jump was like Vampire Diaries had like 22, 23 episodes for every season, and it was like 45 minutes long. So it took me about a couple years to finish this show. It was very good. It was extremely good. I loved it. The relationships, amazing. The characters, mostly amazing. They combined and reimagined and redefined so many different stories. Like, here's one thing that I'll say. For Beauty and the Beast, Rumpelstiltskin was the beast. They combined 2 stories right there. It was awesome. It was amazing. Oh, and Peter Pan, yeah, that's Rumpelstiltskin's dad. Who would have guessed? The spin-off show that they had for Once Upon a Time in Wonderland was pretty good. You can probably guess what that one was about as well. It was about Alice in Wonderland. It only had 1 season, I believe, but it was good. And this isn't really a show. It was more like a series, like a dramatized series of real events. But the Waco on Netflix, amazing. And look, I know David Koresh was pretty much like a cult leader and, you know, not a very good guy. But the way he was looking in the show, the dude who played him, I don't know. I think I might have been myself a Branch Davidian. And when we went to Texas, we actually went to Waco and we looked at the church. If you don't know the whole story, basically it was about this guy named David Koresh, who founded, basically, he didn't found it, it was somebody else, but basically he ran like this like cult / church group called the Branch Davidians, and he had multiple wives and multiple children, stuff like that. So basically it was this whole thing where him and the DEA were not on friendly terms, and it ended with a lot of people dying, including him. It doesn't tell, I don't think perfect events in the series. I think the Waco series is more aimed towards being in support of the Branch Davidians rather than the DEA. But it was amazing. I didn't think I would like it that much, but it was good. So I recommend watching Waco if you haven't. And another show that got canceled after their first season was the Carrie Diaries. I've never seen I've seen it. I've seen Sex in the City before, but I've never watched it because I'm not into middle-aged women in New York trying to get their lives together, especially because it was a whole bunch of white women. Why would I be interested in that? Carrie Diaries was basically about Carrie Bradshaw. She's one of the main characters, I guess, in Sex and the City, but this was before Sex and the City. This was her as a teenager, I believe, and basically starting her rise in the fashion world and all types of stuff. It got canceled. It didn't get canceled after one season, actually. I don't think it got canceled after one season. The Carrie Diaries actually had 2 seasons, so it got canceled after 2 seasons. And the love interest was Austin Butler. I mean, how could you not want to watch that? That was, I think, was pretty underrated. It was actually very, very good. And another underrated show that I don't see enough people talk about is The Bates Motel. It's Bates Motel. I think that's a very amazing show. I finished it last night. It was 5 seasons. I believe it ended in 2017. Yeah. And if you've never seen Psycho, then you probably don't have any former knowledge of what the whole story is. But basically, in Alfred Hitchcock's, 1963, in his film Psycho, it told the story of the owner of a motel called the Bates Motel, and the owner was Norman Bates. And basically, he's a murderer. The whole story centered around, what's her name? This character called Marion Crane, where basically her story, it was very unfortunate. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. She ran away with some money, and unfortunately she came to stay at the Bates Motel, and he murdered her. And when they caught him at the end, it was found out that Norman Bates liked to dress up as his mother and kill people as her, because he had dissociative identity disorder, where basically he created the persona of his mother. So instead of him thinking that he was killing people, he thought that his mother was actually killing people. He would dress up in a wig and in her dresses, and that's basically the original story. And in Bates Motel, it's reimagined. It takes pretty much the same direction as the story. You know, it's got the same characters, but it expands on it a little bit more, and we see him as a young man. It basically is a prequel to Psycho, where basically his mother is still alive, and it's just the people are more expanded. It's not just Norman Bates and his mother, Norma Bates, which is very weird, but it explores their relationship and their codependency with each other, and it's so, so, so good. Now I'm going to say that a lot of characters did not get the fates that they deserved. That's all I'm going to say on that. But other than that, it's an amazing show. I finished last night. I honestly wanted to make a whole video over the show because it's so good. But yeah, and the last show, that it's not underrated, but it's just actually a pretty good show, is called You, which is actually based on books. So if you've ever seen Gossip Girl, Dan O'Doul, who played Dan Penn, I don't know how to say Bagley, or I don't know how to say his last name. He plays the character of Joe Goldberg. I think it's Joe Goldberg, where basically he stalks and obsesses over women and eventually murders them, that's just the order of how it goes. But yeah, basically he's a creepy psycho stalker, and it's kind of annoying because a lot of people are like romantically attracted to him, but it's like, no, he murders people, he kills people. And I think it's a very good show just because, I don't know, people are obsessed with seeing bad people, you know? Like, an example would be in The Vampire Diaries. People love Damon because he is literally insane and because he kills people. People love Klaus because he is insane and he kills people. People loved Kai because he was insane and killed people. But the common factor that people liked was not because that they were insane and killed people, it's because they were attractive. Well, in this case, Joe's character is not meant to be attractive, he is just meant to be insane. And he uses the false pretense of love and infatuation with women to justify his killing of that woman or her associates and her friends. But I still like Damon. And I still like Klaus, and I still like Kai, even though I shouldn't. But anyways, yeah. So those are all the underrated shows that you've probably never seen, but you should probably watch because they're extremely good and they're extremely well made. That was the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and comment down below if you've seen any of these shows, and if you have, what's your favorite show that you watched. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and turn on my post notifications. I post Tuesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern time, or at least I try to. It's getting a little bit harder now that I got a job, but I will try my hardest to stay consistent. And also follow my social medias, which will be down in the description box below. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.